Your image size in Shopify plays a huge role in your SEO, which today is really search everywhere optimization. So if you're not taking advantage of low-hanging fruit by optimizing your product image size, or using one of the hundreds of Shopify image resizers out there, you're leaving a lane wide open for the competition. Even if your images look nice, taking the extra couple of steps to make it ready for AI and machine language is pivotal. So let's go through a 5-step Shopify product image process. And the last step is going to be a doozy, as other sellers don't even know that this can be done. Whether it's Google, Gemini, or ChatGPT, and then type in Shopify image size. I like to add Canva at the end simply because it gives better results. And then you'll get the recommended dimensions for Shopify for your products. I found this example website because I figured, pottery people, they're artistic, they're creative, so they're not thinking about image optimization. And in this case, that's correct. If I go into page speed insights, the majority of the page is pretty good. But when it comes down to the largest contentful paint, or even you get down to the bottom, you can see the cache information where it's trying to load a PNG file, which is fairly pretty big. Even the section that says improve image delivery, there's a lot of potential for savings from 2.9 megabytes to about 2.7 megabytes in savings. So this website could potentially be saving like say 70 to 80% and load quicker. And machines and AIs is going to love that. Your SEO is going to jump because of that. And your Shopify store is only going to rank better because of that. In Shopify, the beauty is that they already have their CDN. So when you upload your image, it's going to convert whether it's a JPEG or a PNG file into a WebP or AVIF file, AVIF. Now the next part is to prep the image. Once you've done the audit and you've identified what images are the problems, go to a compressor, and I downloaded this product image. I've loaded it in. It's a PNG, which turns out to be close to 1.9 megabytes. So that's a huge product image. It's a 1080 by 1080 image. I'm not affiliated with this website, EasyGIF, but they've got a lot of different file formats that you can convert to. So a PNG, so this is a PNG file. I want to convert it to an AVIF. I want to just pre-compress everything because I believe that this compresses even better than Shopify. I like AVIF much better than WebP because it really is the newer format. So if possible, you should definitely select converting to AVIF in your Shopify settings. I'm going to set the quality to 70. And then if I convert this to AVIF, it gives me the output. And then it goes from 1.9 megabytes down to 70 kilobytes for the same size. Now, going back to what the image sizes should be, it's still a little bit smaller. So technically, I would try to find an image or upsize it in the worst possible scenario because I don't want to create a pixelated image by upsizing. But let's say I just have no other alternative, then maybe I would. But grab this and then you can save it and upload it. And if I was the admin for this website, I would upload it here and then rerun the page speed insights to see what the speed would now be. And I'm pretty sure that going from 1.9 megabytes down to 70 kilobytes is going to be a huge boost in the product image performance for Shopify. Go ahead and save the image and then make sure that the file name is accurate and it describes this image. Far too many people skip this step because they feel like it's a hassle, or they think that AI and Google or whatever source would be able to understand what the image is. It may be close, but it's still not going to be as good as a human or the seller themselves in describing what the product is. AI may see this and say that it's just a plate with the words "today's your day." But what if you want to say that this is a white porcelain round plate for serving dinner or desserts? Now, that's the type of descriptive language that AI and large language models is going to love. So that's only going to help your SEO. And remember, the whole point of this is not just your image size and performance optimization, but it's also for your SEO optimization. And that's what step 3 is about. Just making all your images, whether it's a main image or a secondary image, completely machine readable. It's not so much for people anymore. The search field has shifted where you really must adjust and structure your images and data for machine readable language. And it's time to consider the sequence of your image deck. Now, let me show you an example of this Shopify store where it's obviously about a pasta bowl. And they've got 4 different colors: black, blue, pink, white. When I scroll down to the secondary images though, because when I look at this, yes, the main one has a black one. Like, why should I buy this over something else? Like, what exactly is this for? There's no lifestyle images. It's all about the product themselves. And so it just comes down to having the consumer and the end buyer in perspective, in mind, and designing the images and the sequence. And that's why like so many sellers can learn a lot from going into Amazon and then looking up similar products. I've purposely found a product, another large ceramic bowl on Amazon, and this one is $210, and wanted to show the comparison of the different images where the seller is not only focusing on only the product themselves, but also trying to be in the shoe of the consumer and listing and showing the different types of where it's made, the different, say it's dishwasher safe, who it's for, the details in the artwork and the product itself, as well as other lifestyle images to show how this really looks and the end buyer can visualize what it's going to look like on their table. Now, for something like this store, I believe that if they did something similar, it would be so much better in terms of a stronger image deck and also for conversions. So now we move on to, let's say, how do we track and manage images? Because if you have a large product catalog, are you really going to be going in and clicking through your entire collection product page, loading a product, and then trying to figure out what product is where? Here's an easier way using Gorilla ROI. Now, this is the method that I have not seen any other sellers do. I can go in, create a query, and by managing my products inside Google Sheets, I'm able to see the entire thing from a bird's eye perspective. So let's say I select my Shopify store. I'm just going to say throughout the last year. For the data set, I want to load the main image. And then let me pull in all of the information related to this main image. I'm going to create the query, which will then run, and it's going to pull in all the data and information related to the product on Shopify, load it all into this spreadsheet in this table format. It tells me what my current product image width is, what the height is, and if I have an alt, now this is a demo page, so there's no information, structured data, but it tells me that if I had an alt description, say like a ceramic bowl for dogs and water, etc., then it's going to show up here. And by doing so, you can see whether you're missing any alt images and whether you're missing low-hanging fruit for better AI language. Shopify also pulls in the image URL. So with this URL, you can see that it already is a WebP version that I've got on this test Shopify account. I can create another column called image and then just use Google Sheets native image function, load the URL, press enter, and then I can just drag this formula, and now it's going to load the entire image for the main image across the catalog. I can do this same thing for create new query. I'm going to select the vitamin store again. I'm going to go to say last year. Data set, I'm going to pull in the secondary images this time. So image all. Now, if I have any secondary images, then it's going to load all of those other ones. And by doing so, I can track the image deck per se from within spreadsheets. And so I know that these first 3 images is for the product ID for the main product this, and then the next 3 is for this. I've got another 2 for here. If I actually go through, you'll see that I've got all of these other secondary images. Doing the same thing, I can see that none of the secondary images have the alt tags for this demo account. I can see what the image width and the height is across the Shopify store. Equals image, load the URL, let it load, and now Google will automatically create an image based on the entire URL. I can take this a step further by combining the secondary images over into the main images. Since it's a spreadsheet, that's the beauty, where I could use a VLOOKUP where anything that matches this, I can load up all the URLs into, say, another column. Let's call it second image equals VLOOKUP. And I finished this formula where I'm using a VLOOKUP to look at the product ID. And then once it's done, I can drag this formula down as well, or use an array formula. And now it will pull in the secondary image for the matching product IDs. And again, I can convert this to an image. I can do equals image. Here we go. Equals image. Click on the URL and then pull it across. And by doing so, I can virtually see the product catalog images from the main to the secondary directly from a spreadsheet, as opposed to from just looking at it from within Shopify. And that's it. It's a simple 5-step process. Inspect, prepare, make it machine readable, structure it properly, and then track it. Just remember that Shopify helps with delivery, but you're still responsible for the inputs. If you clean up your images, you're going to clean up your speed, your structure, and overall your discoverability. So for more videos on either streamlining your Shopify operations or getting Shopify data, you can watch the videos above, and I'll see you next time.